students, this is your hints video on lesson 5.3, solving systems of linear equations using elimination. So your first several problems give you a system in which you don't need to manipulate one of the equations before you either add or subtract them. So that first step is kind of done for you. So 7 is an example of that. I'm going to rewrite my system so that I have room to work. X plus 3y equals 5, and then I have negative x minus y equals negative 3. I can go ahead and just add these. X plus negative x, or x minus x, is 0. 3y minus y is 2y, and 5 minus 3 is 2. I'll divide by 2 to solve for y equals 1, so that goes here. And then I can solve for x by putting my y equals 1 into either of my equations. So I have x plus, instead of 3 times y, I'll write 3 times 1 equals 5. X plus 3 equals 5. Subtract 3 from both sides and we get x equals 2. So my solution here is 2, 1. So you have a few like that where you just need to either add or subtract one of the equations from the other equation. All right, next we have number 15. It tells us you can jog around your block twice, and the park once in 10 minutes. You can jog around your block twice and the park 3 times in 22 minutes. And they go ahead and define the variables for us. So x is the number of minutes it takes to jog around the block. Y is the number of minutes it takes to jog around the park. So our first equation is you can jog around the block twice, so that's 2 times x, which is how long it takes to jog around the block, plus the park once, so 1 times y, or just y, and that equals 10. And our other equation is the block twice. I got to make sure I'm doing the right one here. The block is x, so 2x plus 3y equals 22. So that's our system. We're going to put those right here. So those two equations will right here. And then we need to figure out how long it takes you to jog around the park. So we're solving for y. Okay, so since we have 2x on both of these equations, it would probably make sense to rewrite one of the equations by multiplying every term by -1. So I will go ahead and rewrite the first equation. I'm going to use a different color here. I'm going to write negative 2x minus y equals negative 10. Each term has been multiplied by -1. And then I'm just going to rewrite the second equation as it was. Equals 22. And we'll go ahead and add negative 2x plus 2x is 0, negative y plus 3y is 2y equals 12. Divide by 2, we get y equals 6. So it takes you 6 minutes to jog around the park. All right, next we have a few systems in which we need to do a little bit more to manipulate our equations so that we can use elimination to solve the system. So when I look at number 19, I see that it's really one of the equations. The second one is written in standard form, ax plus by equals c, but the first one isn't. So I think I'll rewrite that first one as 3x minus 3y equals -3. I'm basically subtracting 3y from both sides and then subtracting 3 from both sides. And then I have my other equation here, 2x minus 6y equals 2. So I want to be able to eliminate one of my variables, and I'm looking at this first equation here, and if I multiply everything by -2, then I'll have positive 6y, and I can eliminate my y. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that one. I'll do it in green. Okay, so I'm multiplying by -2. I have negative 6x plus 6y equals 6. So that's that first equation rewritten by multiplying every term by -2. Now I'm going to rewrite my second equation, 2x minus 6y equals 2. I'll go ahead and add these. Negative 6x plus 2x is negative 4x. My y's cancel out. Negative 4x equals 8. Divide by -4, and I get x equals -2. So that -2 will go here. And now I'm going to substitute my -2 into either of the equations. I'll do that in red. So I have 2 times -2 minus 6y equals 2. -4 minus 6y equals 2. I'll add 4 to both sides. I have -6y equals 6. I'm going to scooch this up just a little bit. Divide by -6, and I get y equals -1. So I have -2, -1 as my solution. All right, on this next problem, I see these two airplanes are flying to the same airport, and I see where that airport is labeled. So I need to write a system of equations for these two airplanes. So for the blue airplane, I'm going to connect the blue dot to the airport. And I can see that this line has a slope of 2, and if I continued it on, it would go through the origin. So the blue airplane, the equation is y equals 2x. For the red airplane, if I connect the red dot to the airport line, my line isn't super duper straight here, but I can see that it has a slope of -1/3. And I can't quite tell where my y-intercept is, but I see it's going to be somewhere up here past 12. This airport looks like it's at the point 6, 12. So if my slope is 1/3, if I go over 3, I would go up 1. So this would be the point 3 and 13. And then if I go over 3 more to get to the y-intercept, that would be the point 0, 14. So the red airport line will be y equals -1/3 x plus 14. All right, and then last, I have this table that shows the number of correct answers on a practice standardized test. You scored 86 points on the test. Your friend scored 76 points. So we need to write a system of linear equations that represents the situation. X is the number of points that a multiple choice question is worth. Y is the number of points a short response is worth. Okay, so for you, you answered 23 multiple choice questions right, times X, which is how many points each of those is worth, plus you answered 10 short response, and we'll multiply that times Y, or the number of points each short response is worth, and you had a total of 86 points. So that's the equation for you. And then, so that will go here. And then your friend will have 28x plus 5y equals 76. So that's going to be for your friend. Now, I'm not going to solve this one for you, but I will give you a hint that I would take this second equation and multiply everything by -2. And then you can add the two equations and solve for x, and then you can use that value to solve for y.